Okay, this is the follow-up video towards the Gateway FX6000 series rebuild. If you recall, this is i7 920, and what motherboard was in there before was a Foxconn that I discovered was a Foxconn generic board, and what we put in there was the Asus Rampage 3 Genie, and this is what it looks like. So I did have some issues with booting up for some reason. It was very strange. Some Asus boards are not totally compatible with every memory, so that is MemOK feature. And what I have in there is G.Skill RAM, so it should be pretty compatible, but it wasn't for whatever reason. But once we got that taken care of, it worked very well. Putting a light to the system now. And I was worried about the Cooler Master fan in front being too loud, because it's about 40 CFM. But that is nothing compared to the main CPU fan. And maybe you can hear it if I put it in there. That fan is loud, extremely loud. This customer would be better off with a just an aftermarket cooler. But I imagine this one must have been loud before. But the 80mm fan is very good. There's quite a bit of airflow. I was very impressed by the airflow of this tiny little fan, especially since there's no opening in the front of the case. It's just drawing from down. From this little gap here, there's actually a cutout on the bottom of the front plate, and it's drawing so much air in there. I'm totally impressed, and it's going right to the graphics card, and the graphics card is shooting it back out, which is great. Also, the Antec power supply has a 120mm fan on the bottom, as you can see there, and it's going to help exhaust some hot air out too. The system numbers, you know, actually there wasn't much room, but this case is actually very good in cable management. I'm impressed. But if you're wondering about the numbers of the rebuild, this is what it is in front of us. This, we'll see, it's, as you can see, it's still very, very good numbers, you know, which is why I told the customer it's definitely worth rebuilding. So let me zoom in and get some numbers in on here. We have a fresh copy of Windows 7 Home Premium. And as you can see, it's the Core i7 920 at 2.6 gigahertz. Does turbo to 2.8, I believe. We have 12 gigs of tri-channel RAM, G.Skill RAM, and I've done all the updates I could on it so far. If you're wondering about the system rating, this is what it looks like. Tri-channel RAM, amazing for memory bandwidth. So you have a memory bandwidth of operations per second rated at 7.6, CPUs at 7.4, graphics 7.3, and hard drive 5.9. And again, you can definitely overclock with this motherboard, so that CPU rating can definitely go up. And the graphics, you can overclock a little bit. You know, it is the 4850, but you're limited to only 512 of RAM on this system. So it's not a bad it's not a bad rebuild. I'm actually very impressed with how the case actually works once you have proper cooling in it. But that is a noisy CPU fan. But any questions or comments, please post them at the bottom of the video. Thanks for watching.